runner-up for Rookie of the Year.
Well, are you sure about that? Because when we were talking about it, the text line was blowing up, and a lot of people were saying, hey, we're not ready to crown Bo Nix as the franchise quarterback yet.
There definitely was more of those than I thought. Yeah, but I think most Broncos country is just so fired up about Bo Nix. Second most touchdown passes for a rookie ever. If you agree that Bo Nix is a franchise quarterback, I know some people don't, but if you agree that he's a franchise quarterback and he plays for the Denver Broncos, being the quarterback for the Denver Broncos just hits different.
Boy, does it. I remember that one day I was able to be quarterback. Everybody known me as Phillip Lindsay, the quarterback.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You walked in those shoes.
I walked in those shoes. Blue Naughty Red Razors.
You stood in Elway's shadow and Payton's shadow for a day. No, but it represents something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And when I asked the question, I'm not trying to piss anyone off. I'm just asking the question because we started talking about it here behind the scenes, and we kind of picked up steam. We were like, okay, hold on, we can't do this right now. Well, let's just do it as a segment. I'm not talking about resume or merit, because if it's just about that, it's Nikola Jokic, and it's not close.
You can't do it.
And the answer still may be Nikola Jokic. But when I think of like the question, is he the biggest star? I'm talking about like if he were on one side of the street and Jokic was on the other, and you had a chance to go talk to someone, has Bo Nix become like the number one answer in Denver?
Man, that's a hard question, especially when you put Jokic right there and you say, hey, Jokic is like across the street. You got Bo Nix on the other side. Who do you pick? Bo Nix got us over the hump, and we finally, when I mean me, the Denver Broncos were able to go to a playoff game. That was the first time since 2015.
Right out of the gate with Bo.
Bo Nix brought us our first winning season since 2016. And this is a football state. We love our football. We love our Broncos. Broncos country, the fans here are crazy. They're crazy for their Broncos. So what I would say to that is, Bo Nix is an emerging star. He's not there just yet, Zach. If it was me and I have an opportunity to go talk to Jokic, I'm going to talk to Jokic. My man has multiple MVPs.
Three of them now.
Three of them. He's won a championship.
Finals MVP.
He's the greatest player in the world in basketball, so why would I not talk to Jokic? He's a really good dude, obviously. Like, he doesn't do too much. Like, I want to pick his brain.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't want to pick Bo Nix's brain. I'm just saying Bo Nix is not there yet. Bo Nix is not there yet. He needs to do a little bit more work. He needs to do a little bit more soul searching and say, hey, can I fill the shoes? Or can my feet be placed in the same shoes as Peyton Manning and John Elway? And the only way to answer that question is give him time. Give him time. When you talk about a star, that was John Elway and that was Peyton Manning. And when Peyton Manning and John Elway were in the building, you always felt like you had a chance to win a Super Bowl. I'm not there with Bo Nix just yet. And this is his rookie year, and I know it, and he's going to grow. But he needs to continue to show me that he has that it factor every single game. He needs to continue to show me that he can go out there and beat a team in 2 minutes every single game, and that there's 15 seconds on the clock like a Patrick Mahomes, and you know that there's still a chance that he can drive down there and win the game for you. And only time will tell.
Right.
I don't want to knock Bo because Bo, he's a baby. He's a rookie.
No one's knocking anyone. You know what this is? This is a conversation based off privilege, because we as sports fans in this town are incredibly spoiled.
Yeah.
Because it's not just Nikola Jokic. It's the reigning Hart Trophy winner, NHL MVP, Nathan McKinnon.
When that's what I was going to say. There's a standard here in Colorado, in Denver.
Yeah, but do you understand like why I'm asking the question? At least,
yeah.
I mean, this is a football town, a football state, football region, and we are crazy about these other teams. We opened our show talking about the Nuggets. We're both wearing our Avs gear. We're going to go to the game tonight. Going to go see that matchup against Edmonton.
It's going to be insane.
I cannot wait.
Epic.
Cannot wait. But when you're quarterback for the Broncos, it's just a little bit different. And when you come and just kick the door down, second most touchdowns for a rookie, you have your team in the playoffs, been wandering through the desert looking for that drink of water, and there's Bo Nix looking like a jug of it. And
what type of water are we talking? Dasani?
and I see a text, hell no. He is not the biggest star. Jokic is the biggest by far. If they were both on the street and everyone had to pick a line for an autograph, they would choose Jokic 75% to 25%. I don't know if it's that dramatic. And put your name on it. I'll give you a shout out.
Well, I think if Bo Nix would have beat the Buffalo Bills, we could have a different conversation. Bo Nix has to win in the playoffs. That's what's going to get him over the top right now. I know it's hard to win a Super Bowl. I know it's hard to win a championship. But that's something that Jokic has done.
Yes.
And it took time for Jokic to get there.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's why we're having the discussion. This is Bo Nix's rookie year. What does it look like in 2-3 years from now? And
the Nuggets never won a title until that man walked through the door. The Broncos are one of the sterling pillars of the NFL. So, and I'm seeing another text here on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. This is Broncos. This is a Broncos town. I love Joker, but we love our QB1. So it's split. For me, to answer my own question, I agree with you. I think Nikola Jokic is the biggest star in Denver sports, or do we expand it to Colorado sports? And that would be my preference. Because is there a single bigger star? I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
Is there a single bigger star in the sports scene in this state than Deion Sanders?
Probably Jokic.
And you think about attention, and you think about star power.
I had to think hard about it. I would still say here in Colorado, it still would be Jokic. Because Coach Prime, although he's an iconic figure and he's a huge
that's the perfect
superstar,
word. He's an icon.
A huge superstar, Coach Prime still has not brought us a national championship. This was Coach Prime's first year winning.
Again, but it's not about merit. I'm just talking about star. Because, again, if it's about merit, it gets more cookie cutter because you're just doing it by resume. I'm talking about, popularity, star power.
It's still Jokic.
Okay.
It's still Jokic. Coach Prime just got here.
Yeah.
Jokic has been here. He's been baked in to the Denver way. That's our Jokic when we talk about it. Coach Prime's talking about taking the Dallas Cowboys job. Mic drop. Mic drop. Right there, the biggest star right now is still Jokic.
Oh, the last time we did this.
You don't think so?
No. At the end of the day, I think it's worth discussion because we are so spoiled. We got double MVPs. If you wanted to throw the Heisman Trophy winner in there, does he belong in this conversation? What about the quarterback that could go number 1 in the NFL draft in Shedeur Sanders?
Oh, we've been very spoiled. But you know what? We've been waiting for this moment for a very long time. We have a standard here in Colorado, and finally it's being met with some great talent. Finally, we're sitting here in front of some great players. Jokic, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Bo Nix,
Nathan McKinnon. Does Cale McCarr belong in this conversation?
All hail Cale. All hail Cale.
I mean, he's trending to be one of the greatest defenders of all time, if not the greatest defenseman that we've seen since Bobby Orr. Could he surpass him? I mean, that's the type of territory.
He has a championship.
But again, with star power, I just don't know if
when you talk about star power, you're talking about people just can walk down the street, they see you, and they're like, wow, that's Bo Nix. Wow, that's Jokic. Wow, that's Coach Prime. I don't think they're saying that about Cale. I think they could say that about Nathan McKinnon because he just generates that that noise.
Yeah,
he's one of the best players to play hockey.
With Jokic, there's a standard with the Denver Broncos that wasn't being met, and now it's starting to flirt back with
9 years it wasn't met. For 9 years.
With the Nuggets, there never really was a standard. A true generational standard. That's what it looks like when you cross the finish line. And Jokic has done that for this town, which was viewed at for so long as just a flyover NBA city. And Jokic brought a championship and 3 MVPs. In the last 4 years, it's MVP, didn't win MVP, went and won a championship, won finals MVP, MVP.
And he could probably win it this year.
And he's likable enough where he does like penetrate to Colorado sports fans. So at the end of the day, we agree it's Jokic. Jokic is the biggest star in this town.
Now, if Coach Prime finds a way to win a national championship, then we're talking that things are going to change.
What if Sean Payton finds a way to win a Super Bowl?
No, you're right. If Sean Payton finds a way to win a Super Bowl, man, he would be number one.
Oh, not over Bo. Not over QB1 who wins the Super Bowl.
Not over QB1?
I don't think so. When you play quarterback for the Denver Broncos and you win a Super Bowl, like if that ever happens, even despite all Jokic's resume, if the Denver Broncos win a Super Bowl with Bo Nix, he will be the biggest star in Colorado.
With the New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees, Sean Payton both won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You talk about them together, not just Drew Brees.
Yeah, they'd be paired together. But if we did the old example of Bo Nix on one side of the street and Sean Payton on the other, and you can have a beer with Bo or have 7 with Shawn.
Make it 8. You got a deal. Make it 8. I'm gonna go to Shawn because
it's Bo.
I want to know,
bro.
I want to know for Shawn. Like I want to know, Shawn. You had so much confidence in this pick. Nobody else believed in it. You were the only one to believe in this, and that's why Bo is who Bo is today.
But if they win a Super Bowl, the quarterback is more popular than the coach. The player is more popular than the coach. If it's a college level, maybe it'd be flipped. This is my opinion. Fellas behind the glass, what are you making of this conversation that Phil and I have just had for 14 minutes?
Well, let me give you something here because I think there's a name that we're actually kind of all overlooking a little bit here. And it's somebody that is probably the biggest star in Colorado and in Denver that hasn't played in 9 years.
Peyton Manning.
Uh-huh.
The sheriff.
Is he? Because I could make the argument is he's still the most popular Bronco. Even more than Bo Nix.
If you put Peyton as a part of this conversation,
he's
probably number one.
Because he's still associated with the Broncos.
Yes.
You still see him all over TV.
Yes.
All over town.
You want to know why? It's his personality.
Uh-huh.
Definitely.
You know, it's like you love Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning's so pure. When's the last time that you heard like, oh, Peyton did something bad? Or he's wrong. Maybe Zach has. I don't know.
I know nothing. I don't know of anything. So, but no, it's the best of both because his resume is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
He's won the most MVPs in the history of football. He was the first quarterback to win an MVP in 2 different locations, and he happens to be maybe the most likable quarterback of all time. So but he's not an active member of Colorado sports.
He's not, but is that part of the criteria? Do you have to be an active member?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so because if you're going to expand after that, where does John Elway land?
All right, well, then here, if you're talking about an Avalanche player, I could make an argument that actually Gabe Landeskog, who hasn't played in 2.5 years, is a bigger star than Nathan McKinnon or Cale Makar.
You think so?
No.
Come on,
As far as star power goes,
star power.
somebody that people would recognize on the street, be like, yeah, that's Gabe Landeskog.
He is a handsome devil.
Exactly. That's where I was going with it. So
Nathan's not too bad either, though.
What's that?
I said Nathan's not too bad either, though.
I'll let you do your own rankings off the air. I'll let you give out
on
numbers
now.
off the air. He's a 9. I think he's a 9, Zach.
You see the hairdo?
Oh my God.
He slicks it back.
But okay, no, active member of Colorado sports. Do we agree it's Jokic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
believe
The
it's
biggest
Jokic.
star power.
Yeah.
I would have him one, but I think I could see an argument that he's not one.
Who would be the biggest argument?
Or is Deion Sanders?
Deion Sanders is
Yeah.
a coach
Is
in
allowed?
Colorado. He is
Yeah, he's
absolutely a part of this conversation.
I would say there's an argument with Deion.
I agree. I don't believe it's a winning argument, but it's an argument. It's Deion Sanders. He is an icon.
But here's part of the argument, though. Is like everybody, and I mean everybody, loves Nikola Jokic. There's a large faction of people in the state of Colorado that don't like Deion Sanders.
Yes, very much so.
You know, especially people with 970 area codes. They don't like Deion Sanders. Like, it's just the reality. Like, not if you're a CSU fan, if you're a fan of Nebraska, you don't like Deion Sanders. Everybody universally in this state loves Nikola Jokic.
Well, are we talking like ability, though? Because I thought it was just biggest star.
Biggest star.
Biggest star.
Yeah, just biggest star.
I'm saying like, so I thought about it not in terms of grabbing one beer. I thought about it as who would have like the longest line of people to like get an autograph from them.
Deion's would be as long as anyone's.
And that's where I think there's an argument to be had.
So it's crazy. You have Deion, you have Jokic side by side. Everybody needs to form a line. You think Coach Prime's line is going to be longer than Jokic's?
I think people would be coming out of the woodwork to pay respect to Deion Sanders. Non-CU fans. This guy was an icon before he just showed up in Boulder 2 years ago. And maybe that's why, and I saw some people saying this on the RamosLaw.com text line, he's like Jokic is ours, Deion's passing through. And I don't know if that will ultimately be true. If he takes the Cowboys job, that will be true. He'll just be kind of passing through. But if he's not, like Deion Sanders represents something way more than a coach and way more than an athlete. You're talking about a guy who was splitting his time between playing pro baseball and playing pro football, playing in the World Series, playing in the Super Bowl, Defensive Player of the Year, rapping. Like he
has his hands in almost everything when it comes to sports and honestly music. Like it's wild, it's insane. But then you have Jokic that's doing something that pretty much has never been done before. Like, by the end of his career, think about how Jokic's stats are going to be.
It's going to be insane.
And if he can win another championship, man, we got to get that man another championship.
It's incumbent upon the organization to figure it out. I think it'll be a disappointment if Jokic ends his career with just one championship. Because for reasons we've talked about, that league, the greatest players of all time, not only do they win big, they win often. It is a different era of NBA basketball, but it still would be a disappointment, in my opinion, if one of the 10 greatest players of all time, which I think he will be firmly a part of that group when it's all said and done. If we expanded it, because we kind of mostly agree Nikola Jokic is the biggest star in Colorado sports. If we expanded it and we just did like, okay, who is the current Mount Rushmore of biggest sports stars in Colorado sports? It's got to be Jokic. I think it has to be Deion Sanders.
Coach Prime, yep. And you got to call him Coach Prime from now on. You know that.
Coach Prime. So Jokic, Coach Prime, and I would go.
Real quick, do you think that's where the list ends as guarantees?
Is that where the list ends of guarantees?
I mean, you would have to put Nathan McKinnon up there.
Nowhere near.
What about a championship, an MVP? He could have another one this year.
It's not about resume, Phil.
Oh, okay.
It is just star power. How about this? Is Bo Nix a bigger star in Colorado sports than Nathan McKinnon?
Not even close.
I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, because it's football.
It's
football
not about merit. Yeah, right. It's NFL is king, right? More people watched Bo Nix play the Saints on Thursday Night Football than people will watch the Stanley Cup. So it's, again, star power, not merit, not your Wikipedia page.
So we're saying Bo Nix is number 3 already, his rookie year.
I would say after Nikola Jokic and Deion Sanders, we're talking about star power, not about merit, not about resume. I think the quarterback for the Denver Broncos, who walked in the league and threw the second most touchdowns in the history of a rookie quarterback, I think he's damn close to a lock.
A lock?
Yes. I'll just do my list, and we can all do our list here, okay?
Yeah.
I think it's Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
I think it's an icon in Deion Sanders. I think it's the quarterback of the damn Denver Broncos in Bo Nix, franchise quarterback. And I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Nathan McKinnon, legend.
Nathan McKinnon,
reigning MVP, yes, champion, a future all-time great.
Well, tell me this.
All-time great now.
Tell me this. If you have Sean Payton and Nathan McKinnon side by side, what's the line looking like?
Repeat that question.
If you had Nathan McKinnon and Sean Payton side by side.
Nathan McKinnon is doubling his line.
You think so?
Absolutely.
It's Sean Payton.
It is Sean Payton, who's been here for 10 minutes and has ruffled a lot of fans as well. It's Nathan McKinnon. I don't know. His line might not be double, but do you think if there was 2 autograph lines, Sean Payton's would be longer than Nathan McKinnon?
No, Nate Dogg deserves to have his line.
Yeah.
He's done a lot for Colorado, and we're not talking about resume, but yeah, he has that star power.
Yeah.
I like your list. No, I would have to go Jokic, Coach Prime, Nathan McKinnon, and then Bo Nix. He needs to earn his way to be number 3. You got to earn it.
Okay. No, hey.
I'm all about earning. Zach, you just like to give it. You just want to just hand the keys over to anybody.
This is why we're having this conversation. Behind the glass, where do you guys fall?
You guys couldn't be more wrong. Nathan McKinnon is nowhere near on this.
Why are you hating on Nathan McKinnon so much?
So rude.
I got some numbers to back it up. You ready for this? Well, and Bo Nix also, to me, he's the honorable mention. I think he's 5th.
Oh.
So my list is Jokic, Coach Prime, And then Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders.
Really?
Oh.
Do you want the numbers?
Are you going to give me like social media numbers?
I was going to give you the Instagram followers.
No,
not even.
No, so I can't go there. I can't go there, and I don't think social media numbers would dictate this conversation because they live in a social media era, and no one has leaned into social media more than those
Travis
two.
Hunter and Shedeur, yeah.
And their entire operation. It's got a part of the base is social media.
Well, now it sounds like you're grading on a curve. I thought it was just biggest star.
Yeah, no. If you did an autograph line, I like that better.
I still think their line's way longer.
We're talking about in Colorado.
Yeah, their line's way longer.
You think Shedeur Sanders' line for an autograph is longer than the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos?
Shedeur had like 30 young ladies sitting there waiting for him to go to lunch. Remember that when they were screaming?
I do. And he on a college camp. Like if it's held in Boulder,
but if it's held in Denver, they might come too.
Well,
and
real
Travis
quick,
Hunter just won the Heisman.
LeBron James, he sees Shedeur and Travis in courtside at the Lakers Nuggets game. He goes over there, daps him up, gives them a jersey or whatever. He's like, I'm going to send you the care package.
Super culturally relevant.
Do you think LeBron James is doing that to Bo Nix, or do you think
absolutely?
It's the you think he's sending him a care package?
If he saw Bo Nix sitting courtside, he is absolutely going to say what's up.
But you think 100%. He's like, get in touch with my guys and I'll get you?
And by the way, let me just say this. Deion Sanders brought that football team with Shedeur, with Travis, to a high school field, and you could have walked up at kickoff of that practice and found a seat. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
Okay, so they actually kind of did a representative of what we're talking here.
To be fair, they put tickets out there. It wasn't just for everybody. You had to buy tickets, and it wasn't that many tickets.
Oh, really?
Not buy, but like get tickets so that they can have counts.
Okay.
So they can count the tickets.
Okay, I didn't see that. I just saw some of the shots. I'm like, man, I thought that people would be waiting in the street, but that's not what we saw.
Yeah, you're right.
Drew, what's your list?
Jokic, Deion.
So we all started with Jokic
We all started with Jokic and Deion.
And then we're talking star power.
Star power.
Star power, not merit, not resume.
I think Bo Nix probably is on there now. As much as I try to fight it a little bit, I think he is actually on there.
I feel like everybody's trying to fight it.
A little bit. Well, just because
I was trying to fight it. I just think for me it's 1 year.
I still feel like a lot of Broncos fans, well, not a lot, but there is a decent chunk of Broncos fans that are still not sold on Bo Nix yet, so they're not buying in on him, therefore lifting him to be a star yet. So
I just like do it 2 years in a row, and then it's like, hey, the world is yours.
Sure.
And give me for my fourth, I'm going to probably go with Nathan McKinnon. Since you won't let me have Gabe, I think Gabe's actually a bigger star than Nate. But since
it's your list, if you want to put the captain on there,
Gabe on there. Actually, I think Gabe is a bigger star than Nathan McKinnon is.
Wow,
he's the captain of the Colorado Avalanche, and I know whatever, say what you will about hockey's popularity, but it still means something. People recognize
it's huge here.
It's huge here.
I'm more worried about Colorado folks than anywhere else,
and so like people recognize.